This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of Millrock Resources, Mr. Greg Beischer. Greg, how are you this morning?
I'm doing very well, Gerardo. Thanks. It's a gorgeous, sunny, clear day here in Anchorage, Alaska. A little on the chilly side, though. It's only around probably minus 10 degrees Celsius. But you know what this kind of time of year can be like. Can be really bad or it can be really good. This is good for this time of year.
It is the time of the year where it starts to freeze up. And of course, up north, as both you and I know, me having lived there for 17 years and you still in Anchorage, this is a dicey time of the year to venture into even a small drill program. And I was worried after hole 7, which was very encouraging visually because of the alteration, I was worried that you wouldn't be able to get back out until the springtime after everything thawed away. So I was surprised to see the announcement from Resolution announcing the recommencement of drilling for, it looks like, hopefully 2 holes to follow up on hole 7, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Frankly, this is a terrible time to be starting a drill program, especially just a short one like this. In the winter in Alaska, once you're drilling off an ore body, you get yourself set up properly so that all the people are comfortable and safe in the cold conditions. It's not a problem. But, these short fits and starts that we've unfortunately had on this project, that's the way we've had to operate, and so it can get a bit dicey, travel times, equipment just seems to break a lot more easy when it's really cold. We worry about getting adequate water to the drill for lubrication because it's getting cold and doesn't like to stay liquid too long once it gets real cold. So it's tougher. I was worried, especially since the contractor we used all year had to move on to other things, a bigger contract, and so we had to scramble, get a new one. And so, anyways, they're on site, and the drill should be turning as of this morning, as far as I understand. So yeah, if all goes well, we'll pound out 2 more holes, and that'll get us pierce points on that big juicy vein that we hit at 2 different locations, probably each around 100 meters away from the original pierce point. And that's a pretty good step out. There's certainly good examples at Good Pasture Deposit and Pogo next door where a hole could intersect good thick quartz veins, looks good, has sulfide, but little if any gold. And that's what we got with the first hole. But it can change very rapidly over just a few tens of meters, or even tens of meters. We studied some of the drill intersections across the way at Northern Stars Good Pasture. It can change in a hurry, and I'm sure hoping that we prove and see that change coming with these next 2 drill holes, and that'll set the stage then for a great year next year.
Given the weather conditions right now, are you confident you can at the very least get the first hole completed?
Yeah, I mean, if the drill's turning now, it's almost a certainty then that we'd be able to complete at least 1 hole. We're running up against a couple of things. Of course, it's getting colder and darker every passing day. Days get 5.5 minutes shorter each one. And on top of that, we're also starting to run up against a budget. If the first hole, for whatever reason, had to run long, it's possible the Resolution may not have enough money for the next hole to run it to completion. So it's a play-by-ear sort of thing, but that is the plan. There's adequate budget there for full 1,100 meters of drilling. Been a bit of a rough start, so that's going to eat into that money a little bit, but hopefully we will pull off both holes and get both those intercepts and maximize the chances of hitting a vein with gold in it.
You're also continuing to do trenching work at the E1 prospect, and the goal there, as I understand it, is to identify future drill targets. So again, just stepping back a bit, we've spoken about the multiple types of targets on the property. And so can you tell us a bit about the E1 prospect?
You bet, yeah. And that work wrapped up just late last week. Again, really pushing the end of the field season to be doing that sort of outdoor activity. Pretty hard on the personnel, but they're a hardy bunch and managed to collect a series of samples after an excavator had opened up the soil and exposed the bedrock. We know that there's gold in this E1 prospect area, and it seems to be more of the type that's a disseminated, intrusion-hosted, like perhaps the Fort Knox gold mine near Fairbanks, as opposed to high-grade, discrete vein-style mineralization. And so that's what we're looking for, and rocks apparently look pretty good, and we'll be anxious to receive our assays a few weeks from now on that. And way out to the east of Pogo, we wound up the program there on the Boundaries prospect, did all kinds of surface work and airborne geophysical surveys, and we're crunching all of that information together now. And I know there's some dandy drill targets in there for next summer, as well as at E1, and hopefully a major delineation program at West Pogo to go with it. So that's the plan. Yeah, it's a huge property. There's a multitude of prospects, and we've got the next two drill ready.
Excellent. You also recently rolled in a couple of very exciting projects in Alaska. Can you speak to those a bit?
Yeah, sure can. Treasure Creek and Esther Dome on the outskirts of the city of Fairbanks, which I'm sure you visited previously. Treasure Creek is probably just about 20 kilometers due west of the Fort Knox mine operated by Kinross. We're targeting very similar style mineralization, and there's a whole, quite a good few indications of that style right at surface from some prior drilling and trenching. And so this is the first time the project's really been looked at in a modern gold price environment where, half a gram or a gram over numerous meters can make a big, to make an ore body. And, one of our friendly competitors, Free Gold Ventures, pulled some really high grade hole not too far away from a claim block, and that set the market on fire for their shares. So we're hoping to do the same thing there. As per usual, Millrock will bring in a partner to fund exploration on these projects and the Fairbanks camp in general. And it's a very similar story to the Goodpaster, where there's one great mine, there's been a couple of other prospects, but there's lots of open land and all kinds of potential to discover yet more. It reminds me of the gold camps like Red Lake, Ontario, or Val-d'Or, Quebec, or Kalgoorlie, Western Australia, for that matter. And we just need to tear into it. We plan to do very systematic exploration across the whole district and really rethink the district altogether. We've got the partner is quite sound technically as well as financially. So we're looking forward to that collaboration too.
A lot going on for a
company.
Sorry to interrupt there, Greg. I was saying it's a lot of potential catalyst for a company with a sub $13 million market cap. That's Canadian.
Yeah, and the way things are going, we're going to be drilling all the way through 2021 on 5 or 6 different projects. So lots of chances for discovery.
Well, I get the sense we'll be chatting again soon. Any idea on when you anticipate assays from, at the very least, the first hole?
Yeah, I would say they'll come pretty quickly if we drill this hole in the next 2 weeks, have it processed into the lab a week later. So that's 3 weeks. That takes us to late November. 3 weeks of the lab seems reasonable this time of year. So hopefully we'll have a nice Christmas present for everybody.
Looking forward to it. Greg, thank you so much. I appreciate the update.
Always, Gerardo. It's my pleasure.
Be safe out there. Thanks again.
Same to you. Bye now.